All right, man, let's get deep with this one real quick, man. I didn't even want to have to do it so soon, but let me just break something down for you guys. I don't even expect this video to get a bunch of views, but just like, comment, subscribe anyway. I told y'all I love the comment section. I really do. I don't care if you say good or bad. I know a lot of y'all sick of fans anyway, so it really don't even matter to me what you're really saying. But I like to keep the conversation going, and this is going to be a video specifically for people who like the comment section, man. So I just made a video. I think I was talking about Kevin Durant in the video and his whole Suns thing. But one of the things that people clearly got stuck on was two parts. Let's get into it, man. So basically the biggest issue was, like I said, the Nuggets was the fifth or sixth seed, right? And then the other issue is just about the fact that the first seed wins the chip about 90% of the time. Now I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I made this video a few days ago, and I think only for like the last week and a half. It's probably been about 2 weeks now. Like 2 weeks ago, the Nuggets were the fifth seed. It was the fifth seed. All right, so I didn't check the standings before I did the video, but they won like their last a couple of games. They moved up to the third seed. Kudos to them. Anyway, my point and the overall point I was making was about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander deserving the MVP because he's the one seed. If you really, I'm going to dive deep into that right now, actually. But let's talk about champions, right? Because for some reason, I don't know why y'all think I'm wrong when I tell you that who wins the championship 90% of the time. Now, we know last year the Boston Celtics won, right? We all know that, okay? So let's go here. Let's go to the standings. Okay, so this is the 2023-2024 NBA standings. The Celtics won 64 games. They lost 18. Now, keep in mind, I already made a video like this last year. Y'all can go take a look at. But it was before the page blew up. So I'm going to just do this one. And let's get into it because I got some shit to show you because a lot of y'all just don't know. Currently, the Cavaliers and the Thunder are tied with the most wins in the league, right? The Thunder only have 9 L's though. The Nuggets are now the third seed. There it is, right? But they're only about 4 games ahead of the fifth seed, which they were about like 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? About 6 games from the sixth seed. So it's not that big of a difference. But the importance that I want to make here is that the Thunder themselves have 44 wins. So they are, what is this? Almost 10 games. They are 9 games above the Nuggets. That is incredible, especially when you're having an MVP conversation. In my opinion, look at it now. That means that they've already played 53 games. That means that the Thunder are on pace to have a 60-win season. They should win somewhere between 60 to 64 games, right? That's incredible. Honestly, they probably should win 65 to 67 games, which is very hard to do. See, and a lot of people, I get it because a lot of you just don't give a fuck about winning. The truth is, you guys get in the comment section and you guys want to defend stars because you don't really care about winning. You don't care about the team aspect of basketball. You only care about the star aspect, which is what's wrong with most of the people out here. Now, I'm not saying everybody in the comment section was wrong, and I was wrong for the fact that I didn't realize that it's not 2 weeks ago and the Nuggets are now the third seed. And again, kudos to them. But at the same time, winning should be the end all be all. And the biggest reason why I was pointing out the 5th and 6th seed is because we've already given the MVP to Jokic when he was the 6th seed. Now, we did it for Russell Westbrook as well. But at some point, you got to stop. Winning matters, especially if So if there's like a 2-3 game difference between the 1 seed, I get it. And the 6 seed, I get it. That just means it was a tough conference. But when you won 10, 15 more games than the 6 seed. Come on, bro. Like right now, currently, if Kawhi Leonard was having an MVP season and we just ended the season today, the Thunder would be 14 games ahead of them. But you would give the MVP to somebody that was a 6 seed? It just doesn't make any sense. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you can't even use the same excuse because a lot of people for Jokic say, yo, he's the only all-star on this team. That's what y'all going to say in the comment section. That's what they say on the media. Okay, what all-stars on the Thunder outside of Shai? Did Chet Holmgren become an all-star? Did I miss it? And if I did, let me know in the comment section. But I don't remember Chet Holmgren being an all-star, neither the rookie that they just picked up. Shai, as far as I know, is all by himself. Just like how people keep saying Jokic needs help, Jokic needs help. Shai, I'm not saying needs help, but he has up-and-coming talent, developing. He's doing all this while developing younger players and still manages to have 8 more wins than the Nuggets right now, who already have a player who took them to a championship. So he really should be winning more because he already has championship fervor, in my opinion. So I do think that there's a difference when you talk about when it's that close, when both players are that talented, but one of the other players are on pace to win 64 games, and the other one is on pace to maybe crack 50, 55 if lucky, but probably 50. I think that's just a big difference, man. And I think like you've already given Jokic that slack 2-3 seasons ago when you gave him his first MVP. Why would you give him that slack again? But of course, that's just an opinion. You guys can have your opinion. If you say, Jokic is better in your mind and, what he's doing this season and the fact that he's 300, he's like plus 300 on the plus minus and the impact he has on this team, I understand that too. This isn't a video to crap on Jokic. Jokic would be deserving of the MVP, but in my opinion, I just think Shai has a bigger impact on his team. That's just what I think about it. It's not throwing shade on Jokic because trust me, I still think Jokic is the best player in the league. He's number 1 this season. Shai is 2. If you look at it like that. But when you talk about the impact, the winning, the intangibles, and I'm only saying that because I will always pick a center or big over a guard. But when you look at the intangibles, what he's doing for this young rookie or young roster, I'm picking the Thunder. I'm thinking Shai has a bigger impact on this team and winning matters more than a lot of people like to say it does. And I'm going to explain to you why winning matters more. I'm going to explain to you right now. Look at the Cavs. The Cavs damn near, when they first started out the season, I thought they were going for the Golden State Warriors 73-9 record. But they kind of slowed down since then. But they're still 5 games above the last year champion Boston Celtics. That's incredible. If the season ends, they should win about 64, 65 games. Speaking of seasons ending, the Boston Celtics won last year, and they won 64 games. They had a 14-game win, more wins than any other team in their conference last year. Look at the West last year. Who won the MVP? Right? Who won the MVP? Now, when you look at the Celtics, right, some people would say Tatum should be higher on the MVP boards. And I would say that just because he's a bona fide, basically close to a bona fide superstar, and he consistently takes his team to 60 plus more wins. But again, when it comes to Jokic, crossing over that 60-game win threshold is really hard for him. I'm not saying 57 games isn't MVP worthy because it is, but for his career, it's kind of hard for him to get 60 plus. Might be the role players, but who knows? Now, when you look at this season, though, who won a championship? The Boston Celtics. What seed were they? The first seed. Okay, let's go back the year before. Bucks had 58 wins. Celtics had 53 wins. Nuggets had 53 wins. Who won the championship this year? Exactly. The Denver Nuggets, right? What seed were they? They were the number 1 seed. All right? We can do this all day, y'all. Okay, so 2022 season. Fresh first season, if I remember correctly, off the lockdown. So it's like the first season out of like 2 years where they actually played all 82 games. And who won the championship? The Golden State Warriors. Where seed were they? The 3rd seed. 53 wins. The same amount of wins, by the way, that the Denver Nuggets had the year before when they won the championship. Okay, so now we go to, what is this, 2022? 2021. That's what I'm supposed to go to. Okay. So, who won the championship this year? Bucks, right? What seed were they? 3rd seed. Keep in mind, this was a half season. So, this season, even though the Bucks were the 3rd seed, it's somewhat of what we call an anomaly. Why do we call it an anomaly? Because this doesn't normally happen. When you play less than 82 games, that's an anomaly of a season. They're 46-26. Back to 2020. Now, the difference between this season, before I even start on it, because we know who won, the difference between this season that, yes, it was a shortened season, but the short of the season didn't happen until the end of the season because of the COVID lockdown. Everybody started off expecting a normal season. Then it shut down. Still an anomaly, but at the same time, they lost about 10 games at the end because they had to come back. But throughout the entire season, it was the Lakers and the Clippers. The Lakers and the Clippers. And who won the championship this year? The Los Angeles Lakers. What seed were they? The number 1 seed. 52 wins. Bucks. Who won the MVP? Giannis. Number 1 seed. Now let's keep going. 2019. Who won the championship this year? Raptors. What seed were they? The number 2 seed. Right? Who did they play? The Warriors. Who were the number 1 seed in the West. Okay, 2018. Who won the championship this year? Golden State Warriors, right? What seed were they? The number 2 seed, right? 2017. Who won the championship? Golden State Warriors. What seed were they? Number 1 seed. And not to give them an excuse, but when I go back to this season, right? Of course, they was their number 2 seed because the Rockets just exploded. But the Warriors they were on their way to a 3-peat. Well, a 2-peat, but it should have been 3-peat. Now let's go to 2016. Here we go. Who won the championship? Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, guys. What seed was the Cavs? The number 1 seed. Against the Warriors, 73-9 record. Keep going. 2015. Who won the championship? Golden State Warriors. 67-15 wins. Steph Curry wins the MVP. This dude literally had 11 more wins than the 2nd seed in his conference. Wins the MVP. Right? Who else made it to the finals? The Cavs, 2nd seed. Now watch this, because y'all keep thinking I'm tripping. Who won the championship in 2014, y'all? Miami Heat, right? What seed were they? Not Miami Heat. Spurs, right? What seed were they? 1st seed, right? 62 wins, right? Thank you. Who won in 2013? Miami Heat, right? What seed were they? 1st seed, right? Thank you. Who won in 2012? Miami Heat, right? What seed were they? 2nd seed. Now keep in mind, lockout season. They only played 66 games that year, right? So we call that an anomaly of a season. Even though they were the second seed, it's still an anomaly of a season. Who won in 2011? Dallas Mavs. What seed were they? Third seed, right? We haven't heard that third seed in a few years. Now keep going. Who won the championship in 2010? Lakers, right? What seed were they? The first seed. I can go for the next decade. Who won a championship in 2000 and it says 19. Let me go back. Nah, man. Typos. I actually should have made this a live video. Keep it a buck with you. Who won the championship in 2009? Lakers. What seed were they? Thank you. Thank you. Proving my point. Number 1 seed. Who won in 2008? Boston Celtics. What seed were they? 66 wins, right? Thank you. Who won in 2007? Spurs. What seed were they? Third seed. Thank you very much. Who won in 2006? Miami Heat, right? What seed were they? Second seed. Who won in 2005? Actually, who the fuck did win in 2005? I believe it was the Spurs. Spurs, for sure. What seed were they? Second seed. Who won in 2004? Detroit Pistons. What seed were they? Third seed. Who won in 2003? Spurs. What seed were they? 1 seed. And we all know the Lakers won from here on out. Third seed, the Lakers. Second seed, the Lakers. This is all on a three-peat, of course. First seeded Lakers. Okay? Now we could keep going and going and going and going, right? Spurs, right? Won the championship. 98, Bulls, right? Bulls, number 1 seed, won the championship. 97, Bulls. Look, bro, I could keep going, but the point I'm trying to make to you guys is, like I said, the number 1 seed wins the championship about 90% of the freaking time. And the biggest point that I was making when I said that was the fact that no team under the 3 seed wins the championship. It just doesn't happen. The lowest seed to win a championship was the Houston Rockets in 94, if I remember correctly. And what seed were they? Just so y'all know I ain't bull driving. What seed were the Rockets? Not 94. Although they were the second seed in 94, but it must have been 95. 95, oh my gosh. Damn typos. 95. 6 seed Rockets. That's the lowest seed to ever win a championship. It's never happened outside of the 95 season. Never. That's the anomaly of the seasons. So if your team is the 6th seed, right? If your team is the 7th seed, if your team is the 8th seed, if your team is the 5th seed, and if your team is the 4th seed, historically speaking, 4th and 5th seed, at least in the modern NBA, I don't want to go back to 1958 because I don't know what happened in 1958, but the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th seed, let me take out the 6th seed, never won a championship in the modern NBA era. They've never won. We just went back 30 plus years. They've never won. So when the Lakers, for the last 5-6 seasons of LeBron, been totaling For one, not making the playoffs some years, and then other years they were in the play-in tournament. They were never going to win a championship that year. No matter what you hear about the pundits or what you hear about what a trade could do to change, if they were the 8th seed, there was no ring coming for them. 7th seed, 5th seed, 4th seed, there was never a ring coming for them. The only hope that they would have is if they lucked up and became the 3rd seed. Then you could have a serious debate about it on First Take. Then. But historically speaking, almost 90% of the time, the number 1 seed is winning the fucking chip. How hard is this to understand? This is why I take the number 1 seed seriously, especially when it's a legitimate team. There have been a few we've believed teams. I think the Thunder this year are one of those. I think if the Cavs was the number 1 seed, they might actually win though. They could have a legitimate chance. I don't think the Thunder do. That's my opinion though. But at the same time, just as a whole, stop listening to the lies from mainstream media. They got you guys defending players before you look at the realisticness of them winning. Go back to right now. Let's go back. 2025, I'm tripping. Let's go back to right now. Currently, the Lakers are the 5th seed. If the season ended today, they're not winning jack squat, not even with Luka. But you know why? Because it's never happened. It's never happened. So for the next few weeks, when all you hear is what the Lakers can do and how strong of a deal this was for them, and keep in mind, before you sit here and say, well, when Luka came, they were so low in the standings. Look, the Lakers might not ever touch the number 1 seed this year, but they can damn sure touch that 2nd seed. Look at it. They're only 4 games behind. Don't know why they lost to the Jazz tonight, but they're only 4 games behind, bro. They can touch that. They can, if they wanted to. But if they don't get up there, if they don't get to 2nd or 3rd seeds, get the idea out your head that they're going to win. But wait a minute. Didn't Luka just make the finals last year? He was in the finals, and he was the 5th seed. Bro, are we talking about championships or are we talking about making the finals? But Jimmy Butler, he made it to the finals. Are we talking about winning a championship or are we talking about making it to the finals? What are we talking about? Let's be for real here. These are the points that I got to make to y'all. So when I go back to these comments, which I tell you guys I respond to comments, right? Appreciate it. Appreciate the comments. Don't care if they're good or bad, right? My mess up on, the Nuggets and them not being the 5th seed / 6th seed currently. But at the same time, yes, 90% of the time, just about the number 1 seed wins the championship. And no, whatever this guy was talking about, I'm not a Golden State Warriors fan, so I didn't even bother. I don't know what you were talking about, bro. You got to watch the channel. And then this dude right here, I really have to talk about this. The 30,000 points and counting casual. So I'm a casual because I'm criticizing or talking about Kevin Durant who has 30,000 points. I seen that too. I seen the picture pop up. What the fuck does that have to do with a team? What does that have to do with the Phoenix Suns? Because KD scored 30K points. Most of them points were scored in other jerseys, bro. But either way, since when did a player having 30,000 points, what does that have to do with him being a winner? A winner. All you're saying is he's a scorer. We already know that about Kevin Durant. But is he a winner? The data will show you no, not really. Yes, he has 2 championships, but he was on one of the most stacked teams of all time to do it. He LeBron'd his way there. That's why I don't respect their championships. LeBron did the same thing. He has to overstack decks so that he can have the confidence to actually play hard enough to have a chance of winning. Other greats never did that shit, bro. Kevin Durant, on the other hand, he's just not a leader, bro. And he just don't, to me, clearly just don't have the tangibles it takes to be that guy when it comes to winning a championship. He's had ample opportunities since he's left Golden State. He had ample opportunities before he got to Golden State. Everybody said it was Russell Westbrook. All of a sudden, he's gifted Kyrie Irving and James Harden, and what, an injury here, injury there, or whatever the fuck. They just didn't wind up winning. Now he has Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. And it's right for the freaking Suns to want to move off of him or someone else. They're spending too much money on this roster. Do you guys not understand that? They're just spending too much money, bro. It's not worth it. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. But at the end of the day, had to respond to some comments and just let y'all know, bro. Stop having false hope. Again, I grew up watching the Lakers. It was always championship or bust. There was a reason why Kobe always chased that number one seed or winning. It gave you the best opportunity to get the chip. Oh, and one more thing, let me touch on LeBron real quick. All of his years that he won a championship outside of 2012, them 4 ass years, he was the number one seed. 2016, number one seed. 2020, number one seed. 2013, number one seed. The only time it changed was 2012, and again, anomaly season during a lockout. Anomaly season. That means anything could have happened. It wasn't up to normal standards. You can't even rate it the same way you rate other seasons. So that's going to be it for this video, man. You guys like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, man. I really just made this for the comments, man. Just to respond to you guys, man, and I'll get with y'all later.